Coming up on MHS1.
We talk about an iconic McKinney burger joint.
We meet our new superintendent.
And we invade a teacher's home.
And it's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. Today is Friday, January 23rd. I'm Sarah Appleby.
And I'm Christian Schneider, and you're watching MHS1.
Recently, Irving, Texas has felt a series of earthquakes, but there may be more to the story. Here's Lily Pisano and Emily Perales with more.
Since October, the city of Irving has been affected by numerous earthquakes from the extraction of natural gas called fracking.
So fracking is basically a process that engineers and scientists are using to get to natural gas deep down into the rocks and the bedrock. So they drill holes deep into the ground in order to access the natural gas and to have it released. It's common pretty much throughout the plains, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota. Pretty much right along the corridor of the north and southern plains. Many scientists, there's a lot of theories and hypotheses. I can't really say theories, but there's many hypotheses going around that fracking is causing a lot of the earthquakes. Oklahoma has had numerous amounts of earthquakes recently, as well as Texas. I think since October, there's been 26 earthquakes. The strongest was a magnitude 3.6. And many people think it's not necessarily from the fracking, but from the wastewater that they inject into the earth after the fracking process. So Irving school districts are actually having earthquake drills now to prepare their students for earthquakes.
This has been Mason Lane, Emily Perales, and Lily Pisano reporting for MHS1.
With the start of the new semester, students have been introduced to the Smoothwall filter system, which has blocked many frequently used sites. Here's Jacob Whitaker and Brandon Fangio with more.
Students may have noticed that the internet filter has gotten more stringent this year. This has led many to question why the district changed its filtering software and why we have a filter at all.
It's just become more restrictive and less tolerant.
Last semester in European history, I couldn't do my project because it blocked me. So I mean, it blocks some things that aren't really relevant that high school kids can be exposed to and have been exposed to.
SIPA, the Children's Internet Protection Act, requires that schools and libraries filter internet content that may be offensive to minors. To make proper use of Smoothwall, a student must log in using their student ID and password.
When you get that Smoothwall page, it doesn't know who you are. When you log in, it identifies you as a McKinney ISD student or an adult. And then it'll allow you to go ahead and go to the pages you need to go to. There may be still sites out there that students need access to, and if that happens, principal can make a request, but our goal is to make it as easy on the students as we possibly can. I can assure you that my goal is to make it simpler, and I know it's not as simple as it was, and it's going to get simple. And if not, we're going to change to a different filter. Technology needs to make things easier.
If you would like to get a website unblocked for educational purposes, you can contact the MISD IT department through their email addresses. This has been Brandon Fangio and Jacob Whitaker reporting for MHS1.
There's a new superintendent in town. Here's Sydney Province, Cassidy Carroll, and Christian Schneider with a look at Dr. McDaniel.
Former principal of McKinney Boyd High School, Dr. Rick McDaniel, has been appointed the new superintendent of McKinney ISD.
I come from East Texas, and I started out as the principal of Robert E. Lee High School in East Texas, and then I was able to open up McKinney Boyd High School as their principal 10 years ago, really. And I got to hire all of the staff and all, and really build some neat traditions in McKinney Boyd High School. So I've been really the principal of McKinney Boyd High School, but I've also been the assistant superintendent here for McKinney ISD for a year, and then just currently now moving into the role of superintendent.
Dr. McDaniel has high aspirations for the future of the district.
One of the things that I'm really excited about is we have what we hope will be some expansion and some improvements to the McKinney High School auditorium down the line. I would love to see the auditorium not only be enlarged but also be refurbished and be equally as nice as the rest of the school.
The new superintendent hopes to reach out and connect with McKinney students.
If there's one thing I could say to the student body of McKinney High School is that I totally understand the tradition that you guys have been able to establish over the years, and I so much embrace that and want to be a part of that myself as superintendent. As far as things that I guess I would want to share with all of the students of McKinney ISD is this, and it's a concern of mine, really. I don't want students at McKinney High School or McKinney North High School to feel that because I'm a former principal of McKinney Boyd High School that I'm not going to give those schools every bit of my attention. My desire is for our district as a whole to be the absolute best district in the state of Texas, and people want to come and see what we're doing to make our district so great. And really, when you look at it, between academics, fine arts, athletics, we are at the very top in most all those categories. And it's not because of work I did at Boyd or work I'm going to do at High. It's because we have good leaders in place across our district and great students. And so when you have that mix, you're going to have success.
This has been Cassidy Carroll, Christian Schneider, and Sydney Province reporting for MHS1.
Hey Sarah, have you ever been to Baker's Drive-In?
Is that even a question? Of course I have.
Well, here's Reese Perry and Hannah Hornbeck with more.
Baker's Drive-In, located off of McDonald Street in McKinney, has been home to a wide variety of classic American food for many years.
The year Baker's established, to my knowledge, was 1954. So we just celebrated our 60th anniversary last year, entering into our 61st. So it's been here a long time. Of course, the Baker family founded it. We came to own Baker's. We had the Handy Mart across the street. We bought it in 1981 from Guy Parchman, which his brother at that time owned Baker's, W.T. Parchman. And then we sold that out, worked at Dr. Pepper for a few years, and was getting back into business. I'd come over here just to ask some advice, and he said they were willing to sell, so that's how we come to buying this.
Generations of customers enjoy Baker's great service and quality food.
We do have several regular customers that come. If they don't come every day, they come 4 or 5 days a week. We just have some of those, some that come weekly. We do get them from all parts of Collin County, even from Dallas County. We have some come from long distances. It's just been a reputation that Baker's has of just quality food, and I guess one of the things is just consistently good food, which people seem to appreciate.
I like Baker's Drive-In because it's a one-of-a-kind burger joint.
I like Baker's because the food is good and the people are friendly. It's kind of like an authentic McKinney place.
Our top 3 food items are, of course, the cheeseburger, the French fries, and the sweet tea. Those are our top 3.
I like the mozzarella sticks. It's better than Sonic.
I had this like triple stack bacon burger and it was freaking awesome. And I've heard their like fried brownie is pretty awesome, so I'm gonna have to try that too.
Seeing the people, the regular people, getting to build relationships with them. A lot of our classmates that we graduated with come by, so we get to see them and their children, their grandchildren. It's just good.
This has been Hannah Hornbeck and Reese Perry reporting for MHS1.
Being involved in extracurricular activities might actually benefit students' academic performance. Here's Sydney Turnbow and Tania Conley with more on the story.
As students begin trying to prep for college, many debate what most are looking for in prospective students.
I think it really depends on the college and what you're going to college for, because a lot of colleges that are like Ivy League are looking for higher test scores and higher GPAs.
I think colleges are looking more so for a well-rounded individual, just because it'll benefit their campus more than just someone who sits by themselves in the classroom and gets good grades.
I think they're looking at the whole picture. If all you know how to do is study, then you're going to have a difficult time transitioning into college.
Extracurriculars are one way of culturing students, but do they benefit them in their futures?
I definitely think that me being in theater really helps me more because it's given me like those leadership skills that I need to become a teacher.
No offense to any of our departments, but if you're planning on studying a music ed degree, calculus is not as important as being better on your instrument or your voice.
Some believe that eliminating extracurriculars would lead to higher GPAs.
I definitely think that a school without extracurricular activities would just not be an enjoyable place for anybody. Being in extracurriculars, I think it positively and negatively affects your GPA. I don't think that it would make my grades significantly higher just because grades aren't my main priority, and I still don't think they would be if I wasn't in extracurriculars.
If all we offered was the very basics, then we have no reason to actually learn anything. I think the extras are the things that keep us motivated. I would say find something. Find a group of people. You have that interest, you have that passion.
Even like the smallest club you can think of would really impact you just because it gives you more motivation to enjoy your high school experience.
It's a great way to meet new people, make new friends, and just get to spend time with people and love your school more.
This has been Sydney Turnbow and Tania Conley reporting for MHS1.
Hey sports fans, I'm Chase Chesapeake. Speed on down in your Mark 5 on down to Classics on the Square. On the Square. On the Square. See the classic car enthusiast group, the Morning Maniacs, and their vintage cars. We did get the city.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, McKinney High hosts adult literacy classes. Here's Lily Shee with more.
Adult literacy is a program for people who want to learn American culture and the language to have a better opportunity to succeed.
This is the adult literacy program for McKinney ISD. We do it twice a week. It's every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8, and we do it for 20 weeks. At the end of the 20 weeks, we also do a placement test to see how much they've grown, and from there we can make the decision for the following year.
This class offers 3 different levels of instruction.
Well, level 1 is just the very basics. They're working. Level 2, they start introducing more of the different tenses and the conversation piece. And then for level 3, we actually use Rosetta Stone for half of the class, and the other half is taught by a teacher.
The program also offers free childcare for the students.
Do things like tutoring and small groups. They're able to play, work on homework, so they get the tutoring and the homework help. And then we also get to have them socialize with their peers. Some of the children are limited in English. There are a few younger ones, maybe the 3 through 5, that primarily speak Spanish, but we also have a bilingual teacher here as well, and so she's able to communicate with them if communication does break down between us. But mostly, a lot of the students are pretty good with English.
This has been Lily Shee reporting for MHS1.
Now here's Kamani with sports.
Thanks, Christian. This past week, our boys and girls basketball teams faced off against Wiley. Our Lionettes defeated Wiley 46-42. Our Lions continue their 6-0 winning streak with a score of 77-62. Make sure to see the streak live on tonight against Denison. Last Friday, the girls soccer team lost to Saxe by 1 goal. Here's Johnny Miller on how the season is going.
This year is the 10th anniversary of the Lionette soccer team winning state.
We were looking at the schedule over a year ago, trying to find what night would be a good night to have a celebration of that team. You know, a 10-year anniversary, let's have them back at a game. And it wound up that January the 16th was the only Friday game that the Lionettes were going to have all season. And so that ended up being the night that we decided to have our ceremony. We wanted to have them here on a Friday night. Ultimately, we ended up getting 11 of the girls to come back, which was really nice. And it was, from my perspective, it was a wonderful ceremony. It was great to have them here, and it was great to get them the recognition that they deserve. One of the great things about the 2005 season is it put McKinney on the map for the state championships, with 4 state championships in soccer since then. And it also marked a turning point in the amount of talent that the program has been getting. This year, the 2015 Lionettes has an abundance of talent. I mean, they've got some girls that are playing at the highest level. And obviously the question is, can they put it together to do well in district and to qualify for the playoffs and then do well in the playoffs? And you know, that's always the question. Talent is there. are they going to put it together and make something of this season so that 10 years later we'll be inviting them back to a 10-year celebration.
This has been Johnny Miller and Allison Duran reporting for MHS1.
I'm Chris Garcia. And I'm Byron Robertson. And this is the Super Bowl preview. We're going to give you our predictions in 45 seconds. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Start us off.
You know, I think the Seahawks will win. They got the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Tansworth, and Byron Maxwell. You know, like Richard Sherman said, mediocre whenever it comes. You got Tom Brady on the other side, deflating balls and cheating to win. But hey, they're a great squad, but the Seahawks will come.
I also believe the Seahawks are going to win. Brady has gone 0-2 in his last Super Bowls against my Giants. In the last 8 games, Seahawks are 8-0 and have outscored their opponents 130-26 in the second half. Pat's offense are 11th, and Seahawks is 9th. So I just believe Seahawks are going to do it. Russell Wilson's proven champion. Yeah. He did it last year, and I think Carmel's going to bite Patriots back in the butt, you know? Yeah. Just like the Cowboys. Alright, thank you. This has been our preview. And for a fun fact, we did a poll, asked 100 people. 51 people said Seahawks, 49 said Patriots. So it's a tight race. We're going to see you on February 1st. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Now here's another teacher home invasion.
Moved into this apartment in about September of last year. Now, September of 2014 is when we moved in here. We moved into this apartment because it was cheaper than the rest of the apartments they were selling here. And also, it's a pretty good location, south part of McKinney, pretty close to both of our jobs. And this is a photo I took of my grandpa that I lived with last year. So he's always watching over us. My roommate's name is Jared Ormond, and we met each other in like 2007. He was actually my counselor at a summer camp, and then we later worked together at that summer camp. And then we also both went to school together at ACU in Abilene. They're my roommate's collection of homies. He collected them when they were little, and I found them when we were unpacking for the apartment, and I said we had to display them over the TV. Some other things, I guess. This is a mug from Nixon's campaign in 1969. I got that from my grandpa.
The basketball sheets are also my father's. He got them when he was a young child in the 70s. And that's why there's no Dallas Mavericks on them, because they weren't created till 1980. So there's a bunch of old logos, and I do not know how it hasn't fallen apart yet, because I've used it for a long time too.
I got a couple favorite things about the apartment. I really like our porch when the weather's nice. It's a nice place to go and sit and read and just kind of hang out. And then there's also, I have a little nook in my room where I also do some reading in the corner, and there's a nice lamp by it. So that's a good spot. 5 save the dates. One is a Merry Christmas and save the date. And that's the thing about being in your mid-20s, is that everyone you know is getting married.
Are you?
No, I'm not getting married. Not close to that. Essentials in the pantry, we got Oreos, double stuff. I don't know why they make non-double stuff Oreos, to be honest. We got the cinnamon brown sugar Pop-Tarts. It's the only kind of Pop-Tarts I eat. Got some cereals, some oatmeal, some chips. All you really need. A lot of our spare time in this apartment is spent by watching Netflix or playing PlayStation 3, because we don't have a 4 yet. We're teachers. And then also we started playing Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube, bringing that back from my childhood. If it's not that, then usually reading or making a meal or going to get food. Pretty simple. Keep ourselves entertained.
This has been Sarah Appleby, Grant Holland, and Hannah Hornbeck reporting for MHS1. Well, that's all we have for you today.
For more news, visit mainstreamnews.com.
And remember, if it's news,
and it's at McKinney High School,
it's MHS1.